Mike the Vegas Guy bringing you another hotel review. Today I stayed at the Flamingo Hotel for 3 nights. This is one of the original hotels on the Strip, located at the corner of Flamingo Road, coincidentally. Not a coincidence. Here is the main entrance. When you park your car at the main valet or get dropped off, you come in this door, you go up these escalators. Here's another view of it. When you go up those escalators, if you were to keep going just straight off of the escalator, you'll end up in the casino, as you can see in this shot here. But if you turn to your left when you come off that escalator, that is the main hotel check-in front lobby. Like most hotels, you have the option to wait in line or do self-mobile check-in. They also had the VIP check-in behind that glass there. Here's a quick view of the lobby, again just from another angle. The top of the escalators are to your right there, and that straight line I mentioned right to left here is that entry to the casino. It's a great property. It's an older property that's been well maintained. It really has a timeless feel, as other hotels, many other hotels of its era are gone, demolished, like the Tropicana, but we're thankful to have the Flamingo still well maintained. Here's the room. Let's jump right into it. This is a standard king room. It's in the Habitat Tower, or at least the Habitat elevators are what they called. It has a city view. I'll show the view out the window in just a moment. But just another quick 360 view of the room here. Nice table and chairs. Really nice furniture. Seemed like brand new furniture. I know that this particular remodel and upgrade was not that new. It's evidenced in the bathroom specifically, which I'll show in a moment. There are some ways you can tell that it hasn't been renovated in a while, but these cabinets here seemed brand new, really nice, high-end, have electrical outlets in them. They had these doors. You have the safe and a mini fridge. Of course, all Caesars Entertainment properties, most of them at least, do give you your own mini fridge as opposed to having a mini bar. This is a pretty standard mini fridge. They all seem to look alike at the Caesars hotels. This one was a little colder than I would expect. It did freeze my beverages. That does seem to happen with the mini fridges, but can't complain. Some hotels still don't give you a mini fridge. Another closer look at some of the furnishings in the room here. A better angle at the bed. There's this nightstand, a really cool flamingo lamp. A lot of flamingo theming. They are not shy about that. This furniture had USB and standard outlets built right in, so that's a sign of the times. Hotels used to always have to pull the bed open to find an outlet. Here's the closet. Only at the Flamingo I've ever seen this. They have these motion censored lights inside the closet. Every time you opened that closet door, a light would come on in the closet, which was really nice. You can see a little bit of the dating here in the closet. It's a smaller closet, and it had this little drawer cabinet thing sitting on the floor there, so it took up space for your luggage or to even hang things that might be longer than that. And you can tell how that's an older piece of furniture. It didn't match the rest of the room. So little weird quirky things like that. Next we'll show you the bathroom. Had that sliding barn door. Some people like that, some people don't. It's not best for privacy. But it's a nice renovation. You can tell they had this nice textured backsplash wall, whatever you want to call that, behind the mirror. It looks really nice at first glance. When you start to take a closer look, you can see some quirkiness. Who's that guy in the mirror? My God, handsome. I like the makeup mirror, but here you go. The shampoo and conditioner, rather the conditioner, body lotion, these little plastic dispensers were dismantled, not just needed to be refilled, but they were dismantled, decommissioned. They basically were just places to store your belongings there, your toiletries. Glass partition, not a full glass shower door, and they had a shower curtain. It's like they realized they made a mistake by not installing shower doors in the bathrooms here, so then they had to hang a curtain rod and put a shower curtain, which seems to defeat the purpose of having a glass shower in the first place. So it was still a good shower. You notice the same thing happened when I stayed at the Rio, but they diminished the water pressure instead of installing a curtain, which was weird. Here's the look out that window. This is called a city view. Now obviously you look out, you see the strip. It technically could be called a strip view, but it also faces down on the rooftop of the Link next door, and you can see all the air conditioning units and the ductwork and the rooftops. So they call that a city view, I guess. Still a great view. You get to see the strip. I had a nice view of the what's left of the Mirage out there. So this was my first night. Took a walk outside, just a little stroll through the property. Here's what it looks like. This is the official, original main entrance on the strip. This is the original neon sign that you would pass through to enter. Of course, they had the original valet there. But when you walk in those doors, right under this sign, you lead into this main entryway. There's a little rotunda that leads straight through the casino. If you follow that pathway on the carpet straight through, you'll head straight back, right through all the action. If you take a stay to the right wall there, it leads you straight to the front desk, which I'll show you next. That's where I went down this pathway. There is a lobby bar, which is really nice, and of course, following that's back at the front desk, where even late in the evening, there were people waiting in line to check in. They have a food hall. It's a food court. I'm sick and tired of these casinos renaming food courts food halls. But they got a Johnny Rockets, a Nathan's Hot Dogs. A lot of the Caesars hotels have food courts that have a lot of these same merchants in there. Now let's take a look at the entertainment options. This is the X-Burlesque show at what used to be known as Bugsy's Cabaret. Kind of quirky if you're not familiar. There are two separate entrances to this cabaret. On one side, it has a marquee advertising X-Burlesque, the burlesque show that's been there for a long time now. On the other side, it's called the Wayne Newton Theater, and this is where Wayne Newton does his show. So depending on which show you go see, you enter from a different door to the same little cabaret to see two different shows, which it's cute. They all get to name their theater after themselves. This is the big room, the Flamingo Showroom, where Donnie and Marie had their famous residency for 11 years. Today it is home to Piff the Magic Dragon and RuPaul's Drag Race Live. Of course, I did go see a show on my stay, and I'll show you the inside of that showroom coming up a little later. But this was my first night. I just took a stroll through and went to bed. Let's hear what my thoughts were after my first night. Good morning. It's my first morning after my first night at the Flamingo, which is where most vloggers would end their video because they only stay for one night. I'm here for 3 nights. Just getting started, just forming my thoughts. These flamingos, wasn't until I woke up this morning, rolled over and stared at the wall and went, oh right, it's the Flamingo. They got flamingos everywhere. They have real flamingos out in the garden. We'll cover that. So there's a lot of flamingo decor. There's the flamingo lamp, which I showed in the room tour. I don't know if I like the fact that the lamps don't match. Let's flip this. Lamp number 1 on one side of the bed. Flamingo lamp over there. That's the flamingo corner of the room. Not many vloggers will be brave enough to show you the room lived in. All my junk everywhere. Though I have some friends who live in a hotel room a lot more heavily than I do. I love this picture, this little artwork. I was looking at the view out the window in the morning. We already covered that view. Quick thought about the bathroom. Just a couple of things I noticed in my first night. I still haven't been here 24 hours. This sink. The sink backed up. Backs up. Did it since I got here last night. I should test this stuff before my first room tour video, but you know what? This is part of the learning process. So this does not drain well. I'll probably call maintenance about that. Otherwise, the room does look pretty good. There are a couple of little scuff marks around the place, but I have seen far worse in many other rooms in this city. There's one little scratch on that door, but it's still a pretty good room. Pretty happy with it. We'll check in on day 2. So now we're going to take a stroll out into the courtyard. Here's a great view from the elevator bay of the entire property. This is what's behind the hotel that you can't see from the Strip. We're going to go down there in just a moment, but of course there's the animal habitat as well as the pool further in the background. You can see there. I don't go in the hotel pools myself, but it's a gorgeous pool property if you're brave enough to go in a communal pool like that. But let's head down into the courtyard. This is a real working animal habitat. Famous, they do have flamingos, and I'll show you them in a moment. I had to zoom in on these turtles. The longer you stay in this habitat, you will see all kinds of wildlife. They have plaques all over the place explaining what animals are where. They do have a full-time staff of caretakers who work at this habitat year-round, and you will see them out there feeding the animals. It's pretty great, and it's a free attraction in Vegas, which there are few and far between these days. Hey, and speaking of free things, this video you're watching is free for you to watch, and it would mean so much to me if you just took this moment right now to hit that like button. And even if you hit the subscribe button, I'd like it even more, because that would really support my channel and help support me being able to continue to make these videos and put out this content for you. I love going to the Strip and experiencing these things and documenting them. I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button for more of my reviews, show reviews, buffet reviews, and of course these hotel reviews. Thank you so much for watching. Here are the flamingos. It's a great attraction. You can always come out here year-round and take a look at these animals. And especially now with the Mirage being closed down, there are very few of these kind of oasis escapes on the Strip left, and this is totally free for you to come visit. So stop by the Flamingo if you've never done it before and see this wildlife habitat. It is a gorgeous place to spend some time. Later that night, I did go see Piff the Magic Dragon. I've already reviewed his show on this channel. You can watch that video as well. But I wanted to include this footage because this is one of the best old Vegas showrooms still in operation. The Flamingo Showroom. It's one of the few that has a balcony still in operation. It is one of my favorites. The seats are a little narrow. These booths are a little old. But if you do get a chance to go see any show in this room, you're stepping into Vegas history. And this is one of the few parts of the building that has not been totally remodeled into a modern form. It does feel like the old school building that you're inside. So it's a great place to visit. Go see a show while you're at the Flamingo. Good morning. It is morning number 2 here at the Flamingo. It is an overcast, cloudy day. I hope that's showing. Looks almost crazier on camera than it does in real life. These dark storm clouds over the valley. The view down into the Link Promenade shops. It is windy. You can see the palm trees blowing. It's been windy all weekend, and now the storm is rolling in. This is so some other thoughts after almost 2 full days here in the room. These blackout curtains are pretty great. I can overlap that. And in the middle of the day, not much gets out. Let's see here. The Flamingo has this thingy. I don't know what you call this, but this little just plank of wood that covers the top of the actual curtains makes all the difference in the world when you want a good blackout curtain. Some light does get in on the sides here, in spite of it, the curtain being pretty flush with the wall. But I don't know why more hotel rooms don't go out of their way to just put that little piece of wood right there over the top of the curtains. So something that has pretty much gone the way of the dodo since the pandemic, at least at Caesars resorts, is in-room dining, room service as we used to know it, where they would wheel in a little table with real plates and cutlery and those little metal covers that they, whisk off and reveal your chef-prepared meal for you to eat in your room. They don't do that anymore. They do takeout, basically. They still call it in-room dining. They actually, here at Flamingo, it was labeled room service. They just deliver takeout from the restaurant. So tonight I got an expensive meal from Bugsy and Myers downstairs at the Flamingo, the high-end steakhouse. They're probably their top restaurant here at Flamingo. It's very accredited. I had a little bit of a resort credit to spend while I was here, so I charged it to my room. I would normally not do this. I do not usually frequent fancy restaurants like Bugsy and Myers. I'm not one of those bougie bloggers. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. This meal was lackluster. It said roasted chicken. It didn't say anything else about that. I assume usually when you go to a high-end restaurant, you order what is called roasted chicken. You usually get a quarter of a chicken or half of a chicken. This was just a breast with half of a wing still attached to the breast. It was very strange. Came with some vegetables there. The best part about it was I ordered a side of asparagus, which was better than anything else that you're looking at here. Better than those roasted vegetables. The asparagus was delicious. I should have just ordered a bunch of sides. I think I would have been in better shape. This cost over $60. Thankfully, I had a little comp to spend while I was there. But this is kind of depressing if you're old enough to remember actual room service, where you'd get to use a real fork and a knife to order a meal this expensive at the hotel and to have to use plastic cutlery out of to-go containers. It was, not the best experience. Bugsy & Myers is a great restaurant. The food is fantastic. If you're willing to spend some good money on a good steakhouse, go eat there in person. But if you're staying there and you're looking for that hotel in-room dining experience of yesteryear, you're going to be out of luck here and at most of the Caesars properties, I'm sad to say. It is my third and final night at the Flamingo. And I am sick and tired of walking to my room. See the end of that hallway behind me? That's where the elevator is. I'm only about halfway to my room right now. I'm gonna flip the camera. Looks like I'm at the end of the hallway. Looks like I'm at the end of the hallway. Where could my room be? Another hallway full of rooms. And you betcha I'm at the end of that hallway. Not the very end. Like 4 rooms down from the end. I should have asked for a room near the elevators. didn't realize the last time I stayed here, it was not a long walk from the elevator. I didn't know. I thought that they intelligently had separate elevators for different sections of the building, which they do. But some rooms are still too far from any elevator. I hate it. Well, I've checked out. I'm waiting for my car at the valet. It's been a quick 3-night stay. It flew by, got a lot done, saw some shows, had a lot of fun. The Flamingo is not my top choice of hotels these days. It's sort of a party hotel. It's an older hotel. It's very, the renovations are nice. They are still renovating. There's a lot to change around here still. I'm gonna have to come back maybe in a year or two, because the lot is empty, unused space right now. We'll see what it holds in the future. It's a nice place. They really want to make this a nice resort. The room stay experience, not quite what I had hoped for. Footnote, the valet here on a Monday afternoon is slow. I don't know if they're just not well staffed today. There were 3 parties waiting when I got to turn in my ticket. 2 of them have gotten their cars back. I'm still waiting. It's been 20 minutes. I know that doesn't seem long, but it wasn't this bad all weekend. When it was busy, when it was like super busy on Friday and Saturday. Really great service here. So there's great service, not on a weekday midday, apparently. Have you stayed at the Flamingo? Leave it in the comments. Tell me what you thought. Are you planning a trip here? What more would you like me to cover if I do come back here again? Thanks for subscribing. I'm Mike the Vegas Guy.